Markiplier.
Was that the bite of 87?
We all know him, we all love him, and we all know that he's just released a movie, which is kind of unheard of for a YouTuber. Not completely unheard of, but, you know, I always hate it when people say like, oh, he's just a YouTuber. This guy literally has an audience of tens of millions, solo carries entire videos, has been doing that for a decade, and you're trying to tell me that that isn't talent? But yeah, so I just watched Ironlung, his new movie, and have a decent amount to say about it. I'll keep it completely spoiler free because I know it just came out. First of all though, I'd be lying if I said I regularly watch Markiplier these days. When I was younger, I used to go crazy for the FNAF videos, and I'm sure it'll be the same for many of you, so I suppose I've been majorly out of the loop, so much so that I've literally never heard of the game, literally ever, until I sat down and began watching the movie. I mean, that's sort of new, but not really. I didn't know that it was based off a game. I'd never played the game, never seen the game. And to be honest, I would definitely say that does hurt the overall enjoyment of the movie, because there is a lot that doesn't really go explained, and I'm assuming it's based off the explanation that you sort of have an understanding of what's going on based on the game. This is my biggest criticism of the movie, and it did definitely impact my enjoyment. There is no explanations of the lore, why completing the task given has any relevance whatsoever, why he's actually a convict in the first place aside from a few basic repeated phrases, and I suppose it's fine, but the horror truly doesn't hit as hard if there's just some random blood and random things going on, if you're so confused the entire time, which you kind of are with this one, unfortunately. Things do just happen and the story just jumped all over the place, and it was kind of odd at times. I have done some research post-watch, and I'm pretty sure that the game is quite similar to that in the sense that it takes 90 minutes to complete. There's not really any explanation of what is going on apart from the lore created by the players, which I thought was quite cool. So I guess it stayed true to the story in that sense, which is fine. But then it's not really so much a criticism of the movie as it is a criticism of the actual story, because I think that the random jumping and lack of explanations can kind of alienate the audience in a film setting, whereas in a video game, it doesn't really matter as much because you are actively the one doing it and figuring out the mystery. So it does work, but just not as well. From a technical aspect, this movie is genuinely excellent. The budget was an estimated $3 million, although I have seen estimates lower than that, and I was genuinely blown away by how excellent it looks. It all takes place in one location essentially, which would have of course kept costs down significantly. But it doesn't feel restrictive in any way, I would argue. The special effects are excellent, and the significant use of blood does really work in the movie's favor and looks really cool. And of course, it's a blood ocean, you're going to see blood, and it was great to see on the big screen. And also, Mark is actually a really good actor. The ability to carry an entire film completely on your back, essentially for 2 hours, is very, very impressive. And with limited acting experience, as far as I'm aware. But as I said earlier, to be fair, you got to realize that this guy, he's carried YouTube videos for like over a decade completely on his own with just his charm. And it definitely works here, and I'd like to see him in more, to be honest. The ending was also really unique and solid, and again, the actual horror aspect was really great too. There's a really unmatched, eerie feeling being trapped in a submarine alone searching through an ocean of blood, obviously, and Mark's genuine fear throughout the film is clear, and you do feel it. So yeah, there is so much to like in this movie, genuinely. It is very, very good for the budget. And the fact it's written, directed, starring one man is very impressive. And the passion that went into the project is so clear. And seeing it in real time was amazing. I do have a few other criticisms though, like sometimes it was very hard to hear exactly what was going on. So many people talking over each other, which is pretty annoying, especially because it mostly only happened during the tense moments where you want to be locked in. And I also wish the flashbacks went somewhere, because we did see a lot of flashbacks, but they were just so random. And I guess I wish I was a bit more in the loop with the game and the story, but that is kind of on me, I suppose. Overall though, it was a very enjoyable movie. It's definitely made for a niche audience, that being fans of the game or Markiplier or Markiplier fans. So it's definitely not for everyone. But regardless, for a first-time director, this is phenomenal. It's also doing really well at the box office, making back its budget and then some literally in the first day, which is incredibly impressive. My screening in the UK was actually packed, which was amazing to see. There was only one screening of it in the cinema that I go to, which is a shame obviously, but it was packed. I do unfortunately think there will be quite a significant drop in the second weekend, because films like this are typically very front front loaded in terms of box office results, but it's already a win for everyone involved, so it doesn't really matter that much. And I do hope to see it do really well as possible. And I'm also very excited to see what Mark does next in terms of movies and this side of things. All in all then, although the movie wasn't 100% for me, I still had a pretty amazing time and can really appreciate the passion and talent that went into its creation. All self-financed, self-distributed with an amazing supportive team, and it just goes to show that with motivation to make great things happen, and with that passion, with that little spark of passion, you really can. I think definitely I'll have to check out the ironlung fandom and all the sort of lore and everything behind it, because it's definitely an incredibly interesting sort of game and world, and I can understand exactly why this was what he picked to make a movie on. But yeah, it was excellent, and I'm really glad I went to see it on opening day.